Welcome to the HEARTS Entwined podcast. In this podcast, we'll be having discussions around the secrets which attract lasting, healthy, fulfilling relationships, creating a healthy mindset, and what women should know and understand about men. Introducing your host, Lyn Smith, the Queen of Hearts, relationship expert, trainer, speaker, and best-selling author of the Cupid's Bow technique. Lyn's mission is to have a positive impact in reducing divorce, domestic violence, and suicide.
Welcome to the HEARTS Entwined podcast. This is your host, Lyn Smith, the Queen of Hearts. I'm excited today because I've got a new guest. Her name is Nancy Ho, and I'm excited to introduce you to Nancy. So welcome, Nancy.
Hi there. I'm honored to be invited. Thank you.
So to start with, Nancy, just tell the audience a little bit about you and who you are and what you do.
Right. I'm a life strategist, a transformative coach, and I've been doing that for the last 26 years. And in short, what do? I actually help people to overcome that void, that emptiness, or that something that in the inner ding that doesn't feel quite right. Even on the outside, it appears like it's all good. It's all good, like, the job is good, the business is good, the family is good, but somehow they're waking up to just something's not right and they can't even put their finger there. What is it? Yeah, so it's not just about burnout.
Yes,
yeah,
I've had phases in my life where I felt unfulfilled, but not really understood why there is that feeling of unfulfillment there.
Correct, the unfulfillment. But a lot of people can't even say as unfulfillment because it's like I said, they have their jobs, they have this, they have that. It's like, why should I not be fulfilled? I have my family. So they don't even use the word that, Nancy, I have this issue of not feeling fulfilled. They cannot even put that in words, but they just feel that something is off. A bit more of that.
So when we have that niggle, that feeling that something is not feeling fulfilled in our life, what would you describe that as being?
First, the symptoms, low in energy, right? Sort of like low in energy, perhaps feel pretty lethargic, low in moods, although some ladies think that they're menopause, so not necessary because at a certain age, it's not necessarily that way. They don't probably even like nothing feels so excited, the excitement or, feeling excited. What used to make them feel excited no longer does. Right. So just like, they go through the day, just matter of fact. And then the next day, rinse and repeat. And many of them, even they have a lot of successes. They still have achievement. I just have one, a designer. She just came to me. She came to me a while ago already. And she came back because she took a break. And I told her, you cannot take a break if you really want to fix it, right? You have to fix it, then you can go away, so-called. And she literally sent me the WhatsApp after we have talked about what we need to work on. And she said, look, I'm invited to sit on as a judge for this big competition, right? I'm given this award, and yet I feel nothing about it. I feel nothing. In fact, if anything else, I still doubt, why am I being invited?
Right.
What? Yeah.
So it's like an energy thing, isn't it? We're feeling a bit like our pulse is more or less starting to flatline rather than beat in a good, healthy rhythm.
Correct. Yeah. So like I said, flat. That's why I say first thing first is that the energy is low. You don't have that, that upbeat enthusiasm that once upon a time we had, so-called we had. That's usually the symptoms. Yeah. So it is very common. They come and they says, I cannot put my finger exactly what happened. Of course, the first thing I always ask, what happened, as what recently happened. And many of them says, no, nothing significant. So this usually build up over times. It's not a single event. Say example, maybe the passing of a loved one, not a single event, that sort of stuff, but it's slowly but surely. And I like to believe, I may be wrong, but I like to believe that how dementia and Alzheimer come about because it's like I lose interest and I lose interest and I lose interest. I don't feel upbeat anymore. I don't feel that enthusiasm. So what happened? The two proteins in the brain stop activating. My mom had Alzheimer's, so I read enough about these two proteins in the brain that is not activating anymore. So therefore, it affects the brain function.
Okay, and is that something that happens in everyone or just some people?
I wouldn't have enough data to tell you that it happened to everyone. But from observation, it happens to a lot of people.
Hmm.
I mean, my mom is a high achiever. Right? She's a high achiever and she's interested in most things. And she literally, I remember when I was young, she would be out, first thing in the morning, like say 9 a.m., and she won't comes back until 9 p.m. Okay. She's that kind of active lady. But when it came, that must be 20 years back already. Has passed on. She's very senior, so that's really all fine and good. But I think if I look back, it would have been at least 20 years ago or more that she started losing interest. What she was interested, she didn't care about it anymore. Low in energy. She's so chatty. She's so talkative, and then she just don't even feel like she wants to talk much. And I'm not just talking about one case of my mom. I had seen quite, social places that I've been, uh, business associates that I've known for a long time. So they are usually kind of much older than me. And then I watched their, sort of once upon a time are high achievers, like I said, but then lose their interest because something didn't feel right. So we got to nip it at the bud. The moment you don't feel right, fix it. That's the point.
So it sounds like you're talking about, losing a zest or passion for life almost,
Mm-hmm.
and not knowing why that is the case. So
Mm-hmm.
what is the first step to fixing that then, Nancy?
What I do is actually I go into a very in-depth conversation, very in-depth conversation, what I call deep dive. Right. So I'll deep dive to get to the root cause, or at least the possible root cause. Then it's usually an aha moment for them, like, oh yeah, that was that. Okay, so I cannot give you exact what it is because everybody's different. And then I use hypnotherapy as well when need, okay, and when the client is open towards it, to get into the subconscious information. And what's interesting is all this subconscious information usually come from a childhood. So whatever happened as an adult is a trigger. It's not the cause of it. So hence I call it root cause. The cause or the root cause is usually as a childhood, when we were a child, at our childhood. And it doesn't mean that we have to come from a violent, a bad childhood. Doesn't necessarily mean that way. I give you an example. Somebody has this, from no rhyme or reason, suddenly have this fear of monitor lizards. Okay, so I'm just giving a different example than just this non-fulfillment, right? To understand what I mean by this subconscious information.
Mm-hmm.
So she suddenly had this suddenly, because we don't always see a lizard monitor, a monitor lizard, right? So she went back to basic place and she see this monitor lizard and then it freak her out. I mean, really freak her out. And when she came back to Singapore, even a lizard is a big problem. A lizard, a small lizard, right? She won't dare to open her balcony anymore, because the door to the balcony, because, in case the lizards are there, stuff like that. And Singapore has got lots of lizards in the house. It can happen, all right? So then we get into the root cause. And what it was as a child wasn't that she had a bad childhood. It's just like every child, there are times we are a little mischievous, we're a little bit like out of line, and our parents may just look at us very sternly. And that was what happened. The mom looked at her in a very stern way, and she associated the eyes of the mother to the eyes of the lizard, the monitor lizard. Is that interesting?
Really? Okay, so it wasn't even to
Yeah,
do with any creature in her childhood, it was to
no,
do with
no.
the way the mother looked at her.
Yeah. So for some reason, that child took that energy, I believe it's energetic, the energy of that, of her mom, maybe let's call it scary or frightening or whatever, right? Because you're naughty and the mom glare at you, kind of sort of glare at her rather, sorry. All right. And then she perhaps pick up that energetic scared. She just scared of that stare. Therefore, whatever reason, she looked at the monitor, listened, and then suddenly it triggered. It's not logical. That's why subconscious is never logical. All right. And that trigger that, that fear, that scared feeling, that, oh my God, that sort of thing. It can happen. All right. So the non-fulfillment, let's come back to it. What could be in the childhood? Of course, I have go to deep dive conversation. Then it may be a make-up story, right? It may be like, I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough. But then that's why it's the imposter syndrome, right? But you achieve loads. You have the title, you have the education, you have the experience, the exposure. But through the fact, people still suffer from this imposter syndrome. And when I go into that in-depth conversation, then it comes up like for some reason, which exactly what the designer actually talked about. She said, I just feel somehow I'm just not good enough. I'm not deserving. Not that she's not good at her work. She knows she is very good. Otherwise, she can't be winning awards for it. But somehow she just had that feeling, not logic, not logical, but that feeling that I don't deserve. I'm not good enough. I don't deserve. All right. So I then go back to the childhood, right? Go back. So at the root cause was some reason that the mother, it wasn't violent, wasn't bad, just the mother compared her to the brother, and the brother is a little clever.
We just don't know what we don't know till we do, do we?
Correct.
And how teachers and parents and other family members and friends can say one small sentence that can have a big impact throughout our life.
Yeah. And it's not about like these people that actually said something that's not as nice, intentionally wanting to hurt us. Not at all. It's just like in this case, like I said, just said, hey, look at your brother, he works hard and he's smart and all that. But the person can perceive as, then you're saying, I'm no good. Then you're saying, I'm not as smart. You see? So I'm not saying that people are intentionally out there to hurt us, whether it's our parents or teachers or whatever. But it's just that we perceive what we hear, and that becomes the problem. That becomes trouble.
Exactly. So it's always about the meaning we place on those words or actions or gestures, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely. Yes, correct.
So how do we undo that then? Once we've found the root cause, what's the next step? How do we sort of, I suppose, transmute that so it's not an issue going forward?
Okay. The best way to explain that process is this. Imagine, right, Lyn, we both have a misunderstanding. Imagine we have a misunderstanding. Okay, then we willing to sit down and talk about it, and then realize, it's a miscommunication. I thought you meant this, right? So once we clear up that miscommunication, we clear up that misunderstanding, done, right? We don't need to discuss anymore. We don't need to amend anything anymore. So in that example, it's similar when the subconscious and the conscious come together. That's where it came from. Is that not Lisa, that mother eyes. All right, is that when mom said that, hey, look at brother, he's a good role model, and I would be proud that you become like that, like him too. Right? So it's my interpretation that I thought that I'm not as good, but it's not. It was just an encouragement from mom, and not like I'm not good. I am still good. My grades are still good, but just that for some reason, brother is better. Brother got the scholarship, blah, blah, blah. So when that is being understood, so to speak, 60-70% of it just go away. Okay.
Just dissolves because you got a better understanding and you can put a different meaning attached to that event, can't you?
Correct. It's just like communication, right? I often say, like in communication, people don't always remember what we say, but they always remember how they feel.
Yes. Never a truer quote, is there?
Yeah, right. I mean, even in our conversation today, right? Somebody I'm going to ask, oh, so what did Nancy say? Oh, well, she said this, and there's something else, right? We don't exactly remember that content. We have an idea, but we definitely remember how someone makes us feel. So similarly, this subconscious conscious thing is how we feel about ourselves. So after we then so-called corrected, and it's a kind of auto thing that is corrected. I'm a facilitator. I have no magic, right? But I have the skills, I have the tool to make that happen. Then after that's known, then the next part of it, the transformation, that's where then we talk about our beliefs, our habits, our cultivation, right? Because come back to the real world, like how we show up is what we do, right? If we exercise regularly, for example, the habit to exercise, there's a chance that we'll be healthier. Simple.
Absolutely.
Right? Simple. There's no rocket science to it. But if it's like, no, I don't like it, and it's this and that, then of course we'll be less mobile, we'll be less agile, we've got less stamina. Just that, right? As a simple illustration. But of course, if it's exercise, it's simple. We can see that openly. But then when it comes to our belief, that's where I come in. All right, again, I go deep. It's like, and belief is not just about positive, negative. I had a client just before I came on, and his mom is going to pass on. All right. In fact, in a hospice, all good. All good meaning like he's not like, going like so sad and distraught, anything like that. He's been with me for a while. He's a very high C under DISC, so very structure, framework, analytical, and stuff like that. So he used to be very attached to meaning and everything else. So I've helped him to reframe stuff, and he is good handling the mom passing on. In fact, his mom is in hospice. But I could detect a problem is going to come up. The mom is going to go days or weeks from now, right? Whatever that means. But because he have upheld himself so much, all right, that I'm steady now, right? I don't become emotional. But we know passing of someone, you cannot be steady. Right? It'd be strange. All right. My mom passed on about nearly a year ago. It'd be strange if I said, great, she's 92. So chill, man.
Yeah. No, that wouldn't be appropriate.
Although logically it is true, it is better off she goes because anything more is more suffering. But even at that moment, right, when she took her last breath, of course, we are sad. So therefore, I have to help him to make sense in his world that you're going to grieve, you're going to be sad, you're going to grieve in the funeral, blah, blah, blah. And that's okay. Now, it's interesting. Isn't it common sense that's okay? No, because he has held on to this belief that he has detached. He's the only child. So some part of him is like he mustn't make the wrong decision for his parents, which he felt he made a wrong decision for his father when his father passed on some 15, 20 years ago. So he's about 50 years old now. He was much younger then, of course. So he doesn't want history to repeat itself, get emotional and make the wrong decision, whatever that means. So he has been good, but I could tell that of course he's going to be sad. Of course he's going to be sad. Okay, he's going to grieve. But that will have an impact on him because he will think that it is a no-no. It's a no-no. I cannot be sad. I cannot crack. I cannot break down. And I have to help him like, you will break down. You will cry. You will be sad. You will grieve. And that's all okay. But just don't dwell on it. Right?
Yeah,
Just don't
absolutely.
dwell on it. Yeah. So that gave him that perspective. This is what I mean by the other part of it, right? Is then how do we move on in our life? And sometimes being so-called positive is not necessarily all that good. So, say example, I feel vulnerable. So that sounds like negative, right? But not necessary. Not necessary at all. Yeah, that's how I look at it.
I think sometimes in any relationship, whether it's to somebody that's suffering a terminal illness or whether it's a relationship that you feel it's coming to its natural end, you unconsciously grieve for that whilst you're still in that relationship, don't you?
Yeah, correct. I mean, just like I said to many people, and I said to myself too. I said, especially with the passing of someone, we never get over it. We work around it. There's no such thing as you get over it. That is like it's okay. I can't get over it. You just work around it.
You just manage and cope with it better with the whatever tools and resources you've got at the time, don't you?
Correct. And that time again, something would just trigger or remind. Just like the other day, I was just watching this particular singing contest, and it happened to be Mother's Day, and then some of the songs were saying to the mother. At a time when I heard it, watch it, of course it triggers and I miss mom, and that's fine. That's not weak. I say so. That's why I mean people have to really know how to define what's really weak or what's natural. Some things are just natural. So that moment, I miss mom, and of course I teared, but that's okay.
Mhm.
It passed, and that's it. Move on. That's what I'm looking at. Mhm.
So Nancy, what is the best way that people can get in touch with you if they want to find out more or connect with you?
Sure, easy to look for me. If you go to LinkedIn, just search for Nancy Ho, Singapore. Simple. Just don't even need to remember anything. Just remember it's Nancy Ho, Singapore, and I will show up. And I've got lots of posts there, a lot of stuff that I post regularly, like twice a week, and all on the subject of fulfillment. Yeah.
Absolutely. So what do you think has been the most common thing that you hear about people that are, feeling, I suppose, numb or low energy or unfulfilled in their lives? That usually you find is a common thing amongst the people you've dealt with.
The common thing is, I'm not getting, well, how do you mean?
I'm saying, is there a common thing that people come to you with that seems to be the cause of their unfulfillment in their life?
I won't put it as common thing, but I'll put it that usually is just that they do not like what they're feeling and they want it stop. They want to stop that. All right. So everybody is different. Right. Maybe they feel very there's a lack of clarity. All right. Why? Not because they do not know what to do, but because of this pressure that's been going on. As we know, the uncertainty in this world, right? So there's this pressure and then it cloud them. All right, I don't like this. All right. So it usually is always coming from that feeling of something that they are constantly having it or feeling it, and they don't want it anymore. And therefore they come to me to stop it, change it.
Mhm.
Yeah, that usually be the case. Yes.
So would you say that is different energy to actually somebody who may be depressed, for example?
There's a difference between feeling depressed or clinically depressed. So before we get into that clinically depressed, usually it's just feeling depressed. And we all can time again feel depressed. So it's not I am depressed. So I always correct that. It's not I'm depressed, but I feel depressed. Or we go into a certain place that's not high energy and it's like, oh, this feels depressive. So
Mhm.
very important that how we frame it. But if I say I feel depressed, all right. So what makes you feel that way? A, B, C. Okay, tell me more about the B. All right. Okay. And then that develop into, and that becomes, that's what I mean by a deep dive.
Mhm.
Then I called it the realization that I feel depressed because now we know the because. Then
Yes.
we can fix the because.
I
and
suppose
and
some
not
people wouldn't necessarily feel like they're depressed. If they're wanting to get help from you, they might not say, well, actually, no, that's not a word I would use to describe my current situation. It just feels like there's a void.
Yeah, correct. They won't say that. Usually they may say stress, burnout, stuff like that. But then, I'm pretty good at going deep. So at some point it will come out. Whatever that they're really feeling. All right. Not necessarily I'm feeling depressed, but I'm just using the example. But whatever they are truly feeling, it will come up. Yeah, of
Absolutely.
course, my job is to ensure that they feel good before they leave my office. It's not to open the can of worms and oh my God, I'm feeling so bad. And now you can go bye. Never that way. Never that way. All right. I make sure that it's all made good. Although it can't be a one session thing, but it still will be made good. As like I said, there's this misunderstanding that is cleared up. For example, like I gave just now. So, and a lot of them actually walked up feeling very hopeful because they can see that how it can be fixed.
I love the way that you framed it as, having a misunderstanding either between with yourself or with other people. because I think that's very easy for people to relate to.
Correct. And if anything else in this whole world, why there are conflicts? It's misunderstanding, miscommunication. We can always agree to disagree. We know everybody is different. And it just because you think a certain thing or certain things, your thought patterns a certain way, and my thought patterns a certain way, we don't have to be enemies.
No, of course not.
Exactly. So that's why I love about Singapore though, religion. We often have this interfaith, sort of, not workshop, what you call that? Worship. All right. That means we are respecting each other's religion.
Yes.
That's so beautiful, So it's just because your religion is different from my religion, that doesn't mean that we are who is wrong or who is right, right? And just like for instance, like I'm talking at Singapore context, right? The Singapore context. Muslim do not eat pork, right? Do not eat pork, Muslim. But we have Muslim and I mean, I'm not Muslim, so I eat pork. And respectfully, the Muslim do not eat pork and I can eat pork and she can tolerate that I'm eating pork. So long I don't make her eat pork, you know what I mean?
No.
But so just my helper is from Indonesia. So my helper is from domestic helper. She's from Indonesia and she's a Muslim. So she can handle pork. I said she can handle it, but she won't eat it. So respectfully, I won't make her eat it. I will tell her, hey, there's pork, right? I will tell her there's pork. So this example, this soup has got pork in there, so she won't eat it, right? So of course there are plenty of other stuff that she can eat, the chicken, the fish, the prawn, everything else she can, the vegetable. So that's the respect. That we are different doesn't make us, we have to go against each other.
No. I think there's
Exactly.
a lot
That's
of
the
that in the
last.
world today, isn't there? There's a lot of divide and conquer type tactics being used to make people turn against each other when there's no need. We can still
Correct.
respect each other,
Yeah.
regardless of differences of opinion.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I am big into, because I grew up in Singapore, we are all having this racial tolerance. In fact, we have got four different races living together. Our government ensure that, say, our block of flats have got a fair ratio of the different races. So you want to be like a block with all the same races. All right, you will have a good ratio, so we live in harmony. So that's a good thing. So it's like, we are different, but we embrace each other differences.
Yes,
If only we have more of that, this world would be at peace.
absolutely. Yeah, totally different in the UK where there's just everybody's, sectioning themselves off into areas, where there is just their own culture, and it's not good really.
Yes, yes, So, well, we may not be able to change the entire country, but we surely can change ourselves,
Yes, and
right?
I feel that, you're doing great work, Nancy, because, personal development, personal growth, giving people the tools, the resources to be able to manage their emotions and reframe how they put different
Mm.
meanings on things that's negatively impact their life. It is great work.
And I believe in that. I've, I enjoy differences. Otherwise, it's too boring.
That's absolutely true, because if everything was always the same and we always liked the
Yeah.
same things, it would be very, very, very boring, wouldn't it? And too certain, too familiar.
Yeah, exactly. And then also is that you can tell by now, right? I'm kind of like quite energetic and uplifting and stuff like that. I like to believe that. And whereas my partner is more or less subdued, very down to earth, more grounded. I'm more like, very excitable about stuff. So that's interesting. We come together. Imagine both of us are just excitable, or
Mm.
both of us just so demure. It's like, no fun.
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
I think we all need a bit of spice and variety and spontaneity to
Right.
keep us on our toes and keep life interesting.
Exactly. Brilliant.
So, any final words around any advice you'd give to any listeners that might relate to what we've talked about today?
All right, let me conclude this way. We cannot, reframe. We have no control over things we cannot control. Stop focusing on things we cannot control and focus on the things we can control. So in short, control what we can control, don't control what we cannot control. And live in the most authentic way, because there's going to be somebody that would not like you and there will be somebody that loves you dearly. It's just called life.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that, Nancy. Thank you so much. I really enjoyed this conversation.
Thank you. Pleasure.
So it just leaves me to say that true love starts with opening our hearts. And until next time, goodbye for now.
Thanks for listening to the Hearts Entwined podcast. You can follow Lyn via the Facebook group 2 Hearts Entwined, or search Lyn Smith, inspirational speaker, at LinkedIn, or email lyn@hearts-entwined.com. That's LYN@hearts-entwined.com. Remember, true love starts with opening our hearts.